going back to overthinking and how you can get over the overthinking, taking massive types of action is one of the main ways when you first start to really quiet your mind. It's like the more action that you take, the more energy that your body takes up, right? That is like the less thinking that you will do. But I'm telling you, it's not a great strategy. It's not gonna last very long if you do that. It is kind of like a way to start though, right? If you just take up all of your energy, a lot of times you'll be so exhausted that your mind will actually not be like active, right? But this only gets you so far, because then you can't relax. Then you're going to basically have everything going on all the time. You have to like schedule your whole life and make sure that you're doing something and connecting with something all the time, or else like you feel like, oh, your thoughts are gonna be there, right? And so this is where trauma release and meditation comes in. Being focused on inner body awareness is what Eckhart Tolle would talk about in The Power of Now and in A New Earth, right? He would say having focus and attention and inner body awareness on the inside, right? And so that's what you need to focus on. You need to focus on the inside, and then you need to see the emotions and how those traumas. Trauma is basically a reaction that happened to an event, an emotional reaction in your body that's still living on because it was repressed or suppressed, right? And so what you have to do is feel these emotions. It's like find a place where you could be alone. Find a place where, you could just be by yourself and really go into those emotions and feel them out. And then if you're feeling happy too, then definitely enjoy yourself in the process. That's like so important to do. But if you're trying to quiet your mind and you're really just starting out, one of the main things that you can do is meditation, and is actually focusing on your breathing, right? So when you focus on your breathing, you're basically taking your attention, your focus and concentration from your mind and your thoughts and the identification with your thoughts, and you're bringing it down to your breathing, and so you're bringing it into your body, and that becomes inner body awareness. And then you're aware of how you're feeling inside, okay? And so if you're not feeling great, then that's fine, right? There's ways to let go of that energy. Maybe you need to take action right now. What's the first thing? What's the main priority in your life that you know if you do that thing, it's really, really going to change everything? It's really going to be the main thing that you need to do. Maybe it's super hard. Maybe there's resistance there. Maybe there's fear. Maybe you just don't know. Maybe there's something stopping you, perfectionism. There's something stopping you from doing it, right? But you just want to tell your mind to shut up. But don't fight your thoughts, okay? It's tricky. This is tricky. It's a balance between, okay? It's like nuance, okay? Some of this is contradicting, and it's because it's paradoxical, and it's because a lot of life is paradoxical. But you can go beyond the duality, okay? And by doing that, you're basically focused on the thoughts that you're having, but connecting them to the emotions that you're having. Because once you let go of the emotions, the thoughts are going to subside. But when you're first starting out, you want to focus on your breathing. You want to focus on meditation. Meditation for 20 minutes a day, even if you're a busy entrepreneur, if you're a busy business owner, if you're a busy, ambitious professional, right? That's like has 3 jobs or something, then, you could still make time for meditation. And I would say that that's one of the main priorities. I went through a shocking things in my life, right? Like incredible traumatic experiences in my life that taught me to put peace first. I basically went through a very traumatic experience, and I was meditating, and I said, something inside of me told me, peace comes first. Peace needs to be your main priority, Christian, right? And I said, okay. I said, you know what? From that moment on, I decided that peace within myself, inner peace, needed to become the main focus. And I needed to understand how to do that. I needed to know how to, what's going on? What are these emotions? What are the different levels of consciousness? And so that's why I got into The Power of Now. That's why I got into David R. Hawkins and the different levels of consciousness. And it started with meditation. It started with having the first glimpse of no mind. Because again, we're so tied up with the outside, and everybody's just thinking, one of the main things is that the mind is a tool, right? You can use the mind to solve problems. You can use the mind to make decisions. You can use the mind to contemplate things. You can use the mind to plan, right? To schedule. But the mind is always, you could solve math problems with it. But a lot of people don't know how to stop the mind from working all the time, right? It's like you're always thinking, and that's overthinking. That's what overthinking is. And I think a lot of people are suffering from this. And I suffered from this for so long. And that's why I'm so passionate. I am so passionate about helping you and about teaching you about how to quieting your mind. And again, it goes back to meditation, man. It goes back to being able to breathe and get into your body, feel your emotions fully, asking yourself, how am I feeling inside right now, right? Inner body awareness. That's what Eckhart Tolle teaches, right? And so the mind isn't just like going everywhere, thinking all the time about every little thing and everything you have to do. You plan, you use your mind, you schedule yourself, and then you take action on those things, and you focus on positive action. You focus on coming from the right place. You focus on what Krishna used to talk about, right? Which is positive action. He said the fruit is in the process and not in the result of the process. And that's what you focus on. You focus on getting better. You focus on connecting with the skill. You focus on getting better yourself in whatever goals you're trying to achieve, whatever thing you're trying to master, right? That's what you want to do. And so next, I actually want to talk one last thing, right? And it's about the different types of intelligences, right? And it's how you can connect and master these things. I've talked before about how there's basically, it takes about 10 years to master anything, right? And so the first glimpse of no mind, a lot of Zen traditions, it's called the Satori experience, right? I remember having my first couple of Satori experiences, and then basically over time they just get longer and longer, right? And that's what happens. It's like the first Satori is like your first glimpse of no mind. You have no thoughts in your head, and you're just calm, you're still within, and you're just like, wow, what an amazing feeling. And it's like your first glimpse of it. You're just like, this is like heaven. Oh my God, I found it. And it's like, that's what Zen monks, right, are trying to find. They're trying to find their first glimpse of Satori. I remember having the first time I had a Satori, I was sitting in my friend's room, and there was like two of them, and they were like watching TV, and I was meditating. I know you're supposed to like meditate by yourself, but I just remember like, it was a really interesting experience. At least for me, it almost felt like something like universal, like saw what I was seeing and experiencing for a moment. That's what it felt to me. I don't know why. It was a fleeting kind of experience, but I don't know why. In that moment, it was just kind of like, whoa, like, what is that? What is that feeling, right? And so after that, I kind of was like, there's something to this. That's like a glimpse of that, you know? And over time, it just got longer and longer and longer. So before, I lived kind of in my thoughts. I lived identified with the things, and I was just like, thinking all the time, and I didn't know how to quiet my mind. I didn't know that it was a tool that I could put down, basically. But after a while, I decided to focus on my breathing. I got my first glimpses of no mind, where I wasn't thinking, and I was just like present to the moment, and I felt perfect. I don't know how else to explain it. It was just like everything is just perfect in that moment. And it just got longer and longer and longer over time. And I remember there was a period of time where it was like back and forth. Like I would just fall back into like unconsciousness. This is how Eckhart Tolle talks about it, right? He says basically when you're conscious, you're present to the moment. And when you're unconscious, then the mind, the ego gets in, right? He talks a lot about this in A New Earth. He talks about how the ego gets in, and now all the different types of egos and how they get in, right? And so the ego's always trying to take over. It's an entity that wants to keep basically the grips that it has on humanity. And I think 99% of people are identified with the ego. They're identified with what they have, and they're identified with the physical. And they haven't really touched that formless yet, that eternal consciousness that's within, that's available to all of us. And again, it's definitely going to be in between here. And so there's different types of intelligences, like musical intelligence, right? There's mathematical intelligence. There's naturalistic intelligence. If you know a lot about the ground and you know a lot about, the weather and things like that, there is a ton of different intelligences. There's introspective, right? Where you're able to kind of like introspect, right? There's introspective, where it's like you're able to socialize and communicate with people really well. There's linguistic intelligence, where you're able to communicate and learn a lot of languages, right? And these are all different types of intelligences. And I believe that it takes about 10 years to master a type of intelligence. And another type of intelligence is spiritual intelligence, right? That's another type of intelligence. And so when you're measuring people by different levels of intelligence, and you're measuring people by different levels of genius, right? Like Einstein would say, you can't judge a fish by its ability to fly, right? If you're focused on different things, there's I think it's like kinesthesiology or kinetic, that's it. Kinetic intelligence is another one. And kinetic intelligence is basically like being able to work out, being able to like target your muscles, right? Your biceps, your triceps, being able to target your abs, being able to target your chest, knowing how to do the different exercises. That's kinetic intelligence, knowing about biology. All of those things are kinetic intelligence. And there are tons of geniuses out there. I know some right now that are on YouTube that are complete geniuses. They have mastered kinetic intelligence. I know other people that have mastered musical intelligence. I know other people that have mastered farming and have mastered naturalistic intelligence, right? And so you can't judge somebody by their ability. We have all different types of intelligence that we're all like good. There's spatial intelligence too for designers and being interior designers, being able to put things and locate things in their mind on a website, right? And these are all different types of intelligences, and we have to stop trying to measure people on these levels that are not really naturalistic, that are not like really like realistic, right? It's like everyone has different things that they're good at. And so that's kind of what I'll leave you with here today. I really hope that you got possibly some glimpses there, or you at least got a lot of value from this, and you were educated on your focus, your attention, your thoughts, your emotions, how to quiet the mind and go out there, be really motivated, get those goals, but come from positive action so you don't face a ton of resistance and you're able to get to your goals a lot faster. All right. One last thing that I'll just say for these last couple of seconds, if you want to join our community at CLC Self-Help, join. It's going to be amazing. There's so many amazing, ambitious professionals in there, entrepreneurs and business owners just like you that are helping each other stay focused, that are helping each other motivate each other, and making videos that are just like incredible, that completely will change your life. So if you really want to come in there, join us. It's a party in there. It's amazing. So have a good time. Enjoy. I'll see you guys in there, and have a great week. Oh, and the birds. You hear all the birds? Awesome. We could almost use the other mic for the birds later.